The ambassador's companion. Captain Maya Chen stood before the mirror in her new quarters aboard Harmonious Confluence, the massive space station that served as headquarters for the Galactic Council. She adjusted the collar of her United Earth diplomatic uniform and took a deep breath. As humanity's newest ambassador to the Council, everything she did would reflect on her species. 3 years of intensive diplomatic training had prepared her for alien customs, languages, and political sensitivities, but nothing had prepared the aliens for Whiskers. "Come here, you troublemaker," Maya called softly. From beneath her bed, a sleek orange tabby cat emerged, stretching languidly before padding across the room to rub against her legs. Whiskers had been her companion since her academy days, and when offered this 5-year posting, Maya had refused to leave him behind. The diplomatic corps had reluctantly agreed, noting that other species often brought companions or symbiotes to council meetings. "The transport officer nearly had a heart attack when he saw you," Maya said, scratching behind the cat's ears. "I don't think this Catheri have anything like cats where they come from." A chime at her door indicated it was time for her first official council session. Maya straightened her uniform one last time, and against all protocol and the explicit advice of her superiors, she gently lifted Whiskers and draped him across her shoulders like a living stole. "Let's make history," she whispered. The council chamber was a vast amphitheater designed to accommodate over 300 species. Maya's breath caught as she entered. Holographic displays, gravity-defying architecture, and beings of every conceivable shape and size filled her vision. The human delegation had a small section near the back, their recent admission to the council reflected in their seating position. As Maya made her way to her designated seat, conversations nearby began to falter and stop. Alien eyes, sensory stalks, and optical clusters turned in her direction, all focused not on her, but on the creature draped casually across her shoulders. Ambassador Chen began, a tall, willowy being with iridescent skin whom Maya recognized as Diplomat Cerulean of the Etheri Confluence. "That creature, is it a weapon?" Maya blinked in surprise. This is Whiskers. He's a cat, a domesticated animal from Earth. He's my pet and companion." The word pet didn't translate well. Several translation devices around the chamber sparked with feedback as they attempted to process the concept. "You keep a predator as a captive?" asked another delegate, a bulbous morigi whose breathing sacs pulsated rapidly. "Not a captive," Maya corrected. "A companion. Humans and cats have lived together for thousands of years. They're one of many animals we've domesticated." The chamber erupted in murmurs. Maya noticed several delegates sliding their hovering seats away from her position. Others were accessing data terminals, apparently researching Earth fauna with newly concerned expressions. During the formal introductions, Maya tried to focus on the proceedings, but Whiskers had become restless. He jumped down from her shoulders and began exploring the human delegation's area, sniffing at unfamiliar equipment and rubbing against the legs of Maya's assistant, Dr. Elijah Okafor. "Ambassador," Elijah whispered urgently. "Something's not right. The Vexarian delegate just requested an emergency security assessment, and they keep referring to Whiskers as a micro-apex threat." Maya frowned. "It's just a misunderstanding. I'll clarify during my introduction." When her turn came to address the assembly, Maya stood tall. "Honorable representatives of the Galactic Council, I bring greetings from Earth and the United Human Systems. We are honored to." Her speech was interrupted by a commotion from the central floor. Whiskers, having silently slipped away from the human section, had wandered into the ceremonial circle and was now playfully batting at the trailing appendages of Grand Arbiter Jolak, the most respected mediator in council history. The chamber froze in collective horror. The 12-limbed arbiter, known for unflappable calm during the most tense negotiations, emitted a high-pitched squeal that Maya's translator couldn't process. Whiskers, interpreting this as play, pounced on one of the waving limbs. Security drones converged instantly, but hesitated, Interfering with either the Grand Arbiter or a diplomatic companion species could create an interstellar incident. Maya rushed forward, scooping up a very pleased-looking Whiskers before bowing deeply to the Arbiter. "My profound apologies, Grand Arbiter." Whiskers meant no harm. He was merely playing. The Arbiter's multifaceted eyes fixed on Maya, then on the purring cat in her arms. Playing? This creature. It stalked me with hunter's precision. It toyed with me. And now it vibrates with satisfaction. Before Maya could explain further, the chamber's head of security, a reptilian draconid, approached with his hand near a sidearm. "Ambassador Chen, please secure your companion. The Council requests an immediate explanation for bringing an evolved predator species into these chambers." Maya found herself escorted to a conference room, still holding Whiskers, who seemed completely unaware of the diplomatic crisis he'd ignited. On view screens around the room, she watched in disbelief as images of Earth's predators, lions, wolves, eagles, and even household cats, were displayed with urgent security briefings. "These creatures," explained Security Chief Voss, "the Draconid, possess killing instincts that most civilized worlds evolved beyond aeons ago. Our data shows Earth has an unprecedented diversity of predator species, many of which humans keep in their dwellings. Is this correct?" Maya nodded, beginning to understand. "Yes, we have domesticated many animals, some with predatory ancestry, but they pose no threat. They're companions, helpers, sometimes working animals." An aetheri scientist floated forward, her translucent body pulsing with concerned colors. "Our preliminary research indicates humans actually modified wolf genetics over generations to create varied companion predators called dogs. And these, cats, you allow them to maintain their hunting behaviors." "Well, yes," Maya admitted. "They hunt toys, string, sometimes small pests. It's natural enrichment for them." The screens changed to show humans playing with cats and dogs, images that seemed innocent to Maya but caused visible discomfort among the alien delegation. "You engage in predatory play rituals with them," stated Chief Voss. "You encourage their hunting instincts." A realization dawned on Maya. Most spacefaring species must have evolved from prey animals or non-predatory lineages. Earth's unusual evolutionary history had created a planet of diverse predator-prey relationships, unlike anything the Council species had experienced. "Whiskers is completely harmless to beings your size," Maya explained, stroking the purring cat. "On Earth, humans are the apex predators. Our animal companions pose no threat to us or to you." The aetheri scientist's colors shifted to a deep blue. "That is precisely what disturbs us, Ambassador. You are the apex predators of your world, a world teeming with efficient killers. Yet you form bonds with smaller predators. The psychological implications are concerning." As Maya struggled to understand, Elijah burst into the room, tablet in hand. "Ambassador, you need to see this. News about Whiskers has reached every corner of the station. The Galactic Council is in an uproar over humanity's predator companions. Some delegates are calling for the immediate reconsideration of Earth's membership." Maya looked down at Whiskers, peacefully napping in her arms, oblivious to the fact that he might have just derailed humanity's position in galactic politics. The cat yawned, showing sharp teeth that suddenly seemed more significant than Maya had ever considered before. "What have we gotten ourselves into, Whiskers?" she whispered, as alerts continued to flood Elijah's tablet. Outside the conference room, Maya could hear security personnel being deployed throughout the station, all because of one ordinary house cat, an animal that millions of humans considered a gentle companion, now viewed as evidence that humans themselves must be uniquely dangerous predators to command the loyalty of such fierce hunters. For the first time, Maya saw humanity through alien eyes, not as the peaceful, cooperative species they thought themselves to be, but as something far more intimidating. A world of apex predators who casually formed bonds with other killers and brought them to the stars. And somewhere in that terrifying misunderstanding, Maya sensed an unexpected opportunity for humanity's future among the stars. Apex by association. The Council demands the immediate quarantine of all Earth fauna, announced Delegate Cerulean, her iridescent skin pulsing with authoritative patterns. Until a full security assessment can be completed, Ambassador Chen's credentials are suspended. 3 days had passed since the Whiskers incident, as it was now being called throughout Harmonious Confluence. Maya sat stiffly in the small disciplinary chamber, Whiskers contentedly purring in a carrier beside her. News feeds across the station rotated between footage of the cat batting at the Grand Arbiter's ceremonial appendages and increasingly sensationalized documentaries about Earth's predator species. The evidence is clear, continued Security Chief Voss, displaying holographic images of lions hunting on the African savanna. Earth evolved an unusually high percentage of predatory species. Among spacefaring civilizations, this is unprecedented. The human tendency to form bonds with these hunters raises serious questions about their psychological profile. Maya fought to maintain her diplomatic composure. With respect, this reaction is vastly disproportionate. Whiskers weighs less than 5 kilograms. He poses no threat to any delegate. It is not merely the physical danger, countered a Morigi representative, breathing sacs pulsating rapidly. It is what these relationships reveal about humanity. You evolved alongside killers. You domesticated killers. What does this tell us about your species? Before Maya could respond, alarms blared throughout the chamber. The station's security network had detected an unauthorized presence in the Council's private chambers, the most restricted area of Harmonious Confluence, where the highest-ranking officials conducted their most sensitive business. Security breach in Sector Alpha 1, announced an automated voice, unknown biological entity detected in proximity to the High Council. Chief Voss's scales flushed with alarm as he checked his terminal. How did? Impossible. Your animal companion is still here, yet our sensors detect a similar biological signature in the Council chambers. Maya glanced at Whiskers, securely contained in his carrier, then at Elijah, who looked equally puzzled. That's not possible, she said. Whiskers is the only Earth animal aboard the station. Unless... Elijah began, then stopped, his eyes widening. Ambassador, remember the cargo that arrived yesterday from Earth. Your personal effects. Realization dawned on Maya. The plush toys for Whiskers' enrichment. They were in vacuum-sealed bags for biosecurity. When maintenance delivered them to my quarters this morning, they must have opened the packages. Elijah finished. If Whiskers wasn't in your quarters, another cat may have stowed away in the shipment, Maya concluded. It happens sometimes on Earth cargo vessels. Chief Voss hissed in alarm. 2 predators loose on this station. The High Council is in session with the Tsarian diplomatic contingent right now. The monitoring screens flickered to show the Council chambers, where the highest-ranking members of the galactic government were engaged in tense negotiations with the notoriously volatile Tsarians, a warlike species only recently brought into peaceful relations with the Council. And there, streaking across the ceremonial floor, was a small calico cat. One of the station's maintenance workers must have adopted a stowaway from a previous Earth shipment without reporting it. But what happened next changed everything. The calico cat pounced, not on any of the delegates, but on a small hovering device that had been slowly approaching the Tsarian ambassador. The cat batted the device to the ground where it emitted a sharp crack and began smoking. Assassination drone, barked Chief Voss, instantly alert. That's a ZK-7 micro-explosive device, if detonated in proximity to the Tsarian ambassador. That cat just prevented an interstellar diplomatic catastrophe, Elijah whispered. Security forces swarmed the council chambers as delegates scattered in panic. The calico cat, mission apparently accomplished, began casually grooming itself in the center of the floor. Maya saw her opportunity. Chief Voss, I request immediate reinstatement and permission to address the council. I believe I can explain what just happened. An hour later, with the assassination attempt thwarted and its perpetrators. A fringe group opposed to peace with the Tsarians. In custody, Maya stood before the full Galactic Council, with whiskers once again draped across her shoulders. Beside her, the Calico Cat, now identified as Patches, an unofficial mascot among the maintenance crew, sat in the arms of its caretaker. "Honorable delegates," Maya began, "today you witnessed firsthand what humans have known for thousands of years. Our relationship with Earth's animals is not one of predator and prey, but of mutual benefit and cooperation." She gestured to Patches. This cat's natural hunting instincts allowed it to identify and neutralize a threat that your security systems missed. On Earth, we have a long history of working with animals whose senses and abilities complement our own. Displaying images of search and rescue dogs, therapy animals, and working farm animals, Maya continued, "Humanity doesn't keep these creatures as status symbols of our apex predator position. We form bonds with them because we recognize that each species has unique strengths. Yes, some have predatory instincts, instincts that today saved the life of the Tsarian ambassador." The Tsarian ambassador, a heavily armored being whose species rarely showed emotion, stepped forward. "My people understand predators, Ambassador Chen. We evolved from them, unlike most council species. Perhaps this explains why others fear what we recognize as valuable traits: vigilance, quick reflexes, protective instincts." This revelation caused a stir among the delegates. Maya hadn't known the Tsarians were predator-descended. Such evolutionary backgrounds were rare among spacefaring civilizations and often kept private due to lingering prejudice. "Perhaps," Maya suggested, seeing an opening, "humanity's comfort with predator species makes us uniquely positioned to serve as intermediaries between the Council and the Tsarian Empire." The Grand Arbiter, who had recovered from his encounter with Whiskers, raised a limb for attention. "Ambassador Chen presents an intriguing perspective. If humans can form symbiotic relationships with predator species, perhaps they can help us better understand the Tsarians, whose psychology has long been difficult for the Council majority to comprehend." Maya stepped forward confidently. "I propose establishing what I'll call the Whiskers Protocol, a new diplomatic framework recognizing that evolutionary differences between species need not be barriers to cooperation. Earth's history with domesticated animals demonstrates that different biological imperatives can be harmonized for mutual benefit." She scratched behind Whisker's ears, earning a loud purr that echoed through the chamber's acoustic enhancement system. "Our animal companions remind us that differences in biology and instinct can be complementary rather than threatening." As the Council deliberated, Maya knew she had transformed what could have been humanity's diplomatic disaster into a unique position of influence. Earth's unusual evolutionary history, once seen as cause for concern, was being reframed as a valuable perspective in galactic politics. 3 months later, the harmonious confluence had changed dramatically. A dedicated Earth Fauna Liaison office had been established, with Maya as its director. Several dozen cats, dogs, and other domesticated Earth animals now resided on the station, each carefully matched with alien delegates interested in the cross-species bonding experience. Most surprising was the waiting list of Council representatives requesting Earth companion animals of their own. What had begun as fear had transformed into cautious fascination. Many species discovered that the presence of Earth animals helped them understand human psychology, while others found unexpected benefits in the companionship these creatures offered. "The Morigi delegation is requesting a third therapy dog," Elijah reported, reviewing the morning's diplomatic communications. Apparently, watching the dog's calm response to potential threats is helping them manage their species' anxiety responses. Maya nodded, watching as Whiskers dozed in a patch of artificial sunlight, unaware of his role in reshaping galactic politics. Nearby, the Tsarian ambassador's chief aide was cautiously offering treats to Patches, who had been officially appointed security consultant to the Tsarian delegation. "Who would have thought," Maya mused, "that our path to acceptance in the galactic community would come through our relationships with Earth's animals? They feared us because we bond with predators. And now they respect us for the same reason. Elijah finished. The Whiskers Protocol is being adopted by 17 systems as a framework for cross-evolutionary diplomacy. A notification chimed on Maya's console. The Council had approved her proposal for an Earth Wildlife Cultural Center aboard the station. Soon, representatives from across the galaxy would have the opportunity to observe and interact with a wider variety of Earth's fauna in controlled environments. Maya scooped up Whiskers, who chirped sleepily at being disturbed. "You've changed galactic history, little one," she whispered. "Because of you, humanity isn't just another voice in the Council. We're the bridge between evolutionary worlds." Outside her office viewport, the vastness of space stretched endlessly. Somewhere out there, other predator-evolved species might be waiting to join the galactic community, species that had been hesitant to approach a council dominated by prey-descended civilizations. Thanks to humanity, and one ordinary housecat, the stars were becoming a little more welcoming to all evolutionary paths. In the grand tapestry of galactic civilization, humanity had found its unique thread, not as conquerors or even as explorers, but as translators between biological imperatives, a role made possible by thousands of years of sharing their homes with the descendants of hunters. And it had all begun with a fluffy orange tabby who had no idea he caused a diplomatic crisis, prevented an interstellar war, and fundamentally changed humanity's place among the stars.